All right, let's talk about the weather on this Wednesday. Warmer temperatures are moving in, but first, we have another very cold night in store. First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin has a look at what we can expect overnight. Cutter.
Yeah, Denise, we have both ends of the spectrum in the First Alert forecast. Talk about a pretty day. I know cold to start, still a little chilly, but so much sunshine looking out from the First Alert Weather Observatory. And because of the sunshine, we've been able to recover. Freeze in many spots earlier, 50 degrees though at the Inner Harbor. And as we go up to Harford County, this again, one of the colder spots. We've been talking about this recently. Northeast Maryland, not quite as warm as the past in the past couple of events across the rest of the area. That comparison, Harford County, Cecil County, just a few degrees colder than everyone else. Parts of Carroll County made it to the mid to upper 50s earlier today. Now everyone's going to begin to cool down here over the next few hours. Another cold night is in store. As Denise mentioned, much chillier weather is on the way coming up in the First Alert forecast. So overnight tonight, again, we're looking at some pretty chilly conditions. Want to take you through that hourly very quick. And again, hot weather in store next week. But this evening, we're quickly back into the upper 30s. You want the jacket, Denise, but we're talking 90s for some next week. Walking you through that process coming up in just a few minutes.
Wow, that's like summer. Thank you.
And Denise, speaking of those bills and cooling costs, we're going to soar for the first time in many places into the 90s next week as it looks right now. And obviously, that could generate another spike. We want to give you the first alert, the heads up, though. Right now, kind of the other end of the spectrum, it's clear outside, lots of sunshine. You'd expect it to be a little warmer in early April, but we've had quite a chilly air mass settle back into the area. Once again, we have frost advisories in effect. That's the light blue in effect for the city of Baltimore, much of the eastern shore, and southern Maryland. And the darker blue up into southern Pennsylvania, north and west parts of the metro on towards Frederick, and then back into northern Virginia. Once again, a freeze warning is in effect. Now, technically, last night, BWI did not record a freeze. 33 was the low. We will be close to that again tonight, but it's going to be chilly regardless of the exact temperature in your neighborhood. The common theme here, everyone will need their jackets again. Right now, we're 50 Inner Harbor, 48 Westminster. Walking you over to the west side, Columbia is still in the lower 50s. This was at the top of the hour, likely here in the next 15 to 30 minutes, back into the upper 40s here pretty quickly. So already chilly, and as soon as you lose that April sunshine, temperatures really drop like a rock here, and that's going to be the theme for the next few hours across the Baltimore metro, really much of the mid-Atlantic. On your corner in Towson neighborhood forecast, we're already back into the upper 30s here by midnight, if not before then, outside of the Beltway. 37 by 2 o'clock in the morning, at 4 a.m. for the earliest of risers, temperatures in the mid-30s, and I think the chance of seeing frost tomorrow morning is actually greater than this morning, despite the temperatures being a few degrees warmer. Just a little bit more moisture to work with. 32 your forecast, low temperature in Bel Air, 34 Baltimore, 39 Lexington Park. Widespread low to mid 30s on the eastern shore, coolest along the Delaware state line. So cold, yes, but tomorrow begins the warm up, and we're looking at low impacts for the morning commute. Nothing but sunshine and some wispy high clouds moving through. With a little bit of luck, it'll enhance the sunrise, and hour by hour we're shedding the morning clouds back to more sunshine as we get to the heart of the afternoon and then on into early evening, with temperatures recovering nicely back into the mid upper 50s across the metro. In 60s for parts of the area. Mountains warmer as well as western Maryland, 60 to 65, not out of the question. Also the eastern shore, once you get away from the bay, close to 60. Beaches and southern Maryland, tidal Potomac region, 58 to 60 degrees or so. Right at 60 Baltimore, though outside of the Beltway, a little cooler. 57 Stevensville, 57 Salisbury, 55 Annapolis, 63 in Westminster. Again, it's going to be a nice day. One of the nicest areas, northeast Maryland, on your corner in Cecil County. Again, one of the cooler spots, but it will be sunny out here. Elkton 58, Cecilton 57, Bayview Estates up towards Elk Neck, top end of the bay, just a little cooler upper 50s. In that 7-day forecast, slight chance of rain Saturday. The O's had their second home game in a row. A lot of Orioles games to track here over the next several days. Right now, weather-wise, stunning this weekend. 89 Tuesday, 89 degrees again next Wednesday. Denise.
All right, thank you, Cutter.